girls naturally more mature, or are they just raised that way?
I have a life experience
Yeah.
where I was already a mother at the age of, let's say, in fact, 17, I was already a mother, carry on the responsibilities. Okay, my mom went to school, she went back to school, and me being the eldest child, and with 4 other siblings, I have to take up the responsibility of being a mother as a girl. They expect you to mature fast so that you can start entering, start looking ready for marriage.
It should be illegal for poor people to have children. Illegal for poor,
Jesus.
uneducated people to have children. True. Hi, I'm Mahita Bell.
Hi, I'm Emma Diong.
And I am him.
And
Welcome to Truth in Bikinis, where we strip down life toughest issues to its core truth.
And today's topic, is, are girls naturally more mature, or are they just raised that way? So, you know the drill. We'll ask questions and we'll give answers on our own 3 different perspectives as 3 different people at 3 different stages of life. So we're going to start with, what does forced maturity mean, and how does it impact young girls differently from young boys?
Well, I feel forced maturity. That is when you expect a child, most especially girls, to carry on adult responsibilities and roles at the expense of their childhood well-being.
Okay.
Yeah, and that means like the domestic roles, they are already mothers when they are children. So you're already forcing that maturity on them.
Mhm.
So that's making them
I
adult.
think that these things don't just happen.
Yeah.
There are certain occasions that may require girls to step up,
And
and just
be,
take up those roles. Sometimes maybe the family is poor.
or
Sometimes anything at all. Family could be going through some struggles, and then the child all of a sudden has to be the one to be the caregiver at home. While maybe mother and father are maybe out there, or sometimes the father could die and it's just mother and the children. So mother, okay, like you were sharing a story with us the other day.
Yeah, actually, I have a life experience
yeah.
where I was already a mother at the age of, let's say, in fact, 17, I was already a mother, carry on the responsibilities. Okay, my mom went to school, she went back to school, and me being the eldest child, and with 4 other siblings, I have to take up the responsibility of being a mother. So even in secondary school, I can just return from school and my siblings will just come over and be, "Senior, we are hungry." So look at me in class. Instead of learning, I'm thinking of what to cook when I get home, of how to go to the market to sell some things, to be able to raise money and assist dad. Understand? So some of those things I'm already, experiencing motherhood while I was still a child. It's as if I'm being deprived of childhood enjoyment and experience. So I think that's still a part of forcing maturity, yes.
And like you said before, it's something that is really common when it comes to the girl child. Because already, especially if you're firstborn, Adiara, they'll come and they'll be, because from the moment you have younger siblings, it is made known that you are the second mother of the house.
Yes.
Like, that's a phrase I think a lot of us can, kind of relate to. And me personally, it's not even something from my family. My parents aren't really like that. They're not very traditional people, but it's always outsiders that come,
Yes, yes.
that
They just
remind
feel
you
it's
that
normal.
this is supposed to be. This is how it's like. They make me feel like I'm not normal for naturally falling into that role, when it's the furthest thing from natural, in my own opinion. Because our question is whether it's nature or whether it's nurture. Me, I wasn't really raised in a way where I fall into these things naturally. It's something that I had to come and grow up and find out, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be. I wasn't aware that it's not equal, this thing among everybody. It's the first child cleans up after everybody, takes care of everybody, kind of like becomes the mom. So it's kind of a weird situation.
So I'm wondering, so how does this the gender roles of a thing, how does it force girls, to mature too early?
I mean, I don't know. In the sense that as a young girl, everybody is telling you you're supposed to be tidy, you're supposed to be organized,
Yeah,
you're supposed
right
to
about that.
you're supposed to be responsible, be a mini woman.
Yeah.
Honestly, because that's
Sure.
what it is. It's like, what do you mean? I'm 9. I think I've said this before. I'm 9 years old. What do you mean? Because I was running around, someone is now coming to tell me that, in the north, a girl of your age is getting
Is already
Getting married.
I'm 9 and already they're setting this expectation of how I should be. And
Yeah.
it's like, there's no room for you to be messy. There's no room for you to be forgetful. There's no room for you to, especially as a first daughter. And me, I'm someone that I can be a very scatterbrained person. But it's like, at no point does anybody see it as, oh, this is just a girl, we're
It's just a
figuring things
child,
out.
yeah.
Mm.
It's just like you are a woman. They're like, you're a girl. You're a girl. You're supposed to have your shit together.
They believe you're born with it.
Yeah, girls, the little mother syndrome. Yeah, you're
Yes.
already supposed to know how to cook, know how to clean up after yourself and after every other person. And then there's this thing we don't talk about.
Yeah.
Even though it's not so glaring, but it's subtle. It's there somehow that the girl child is raised in preparation for marriage.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like
true.
the girl child graduates from school. Everybody's asking how far. Yeah, everybody's actually asking how far. Anybody.
Even right for when you're small, they say
So,
that's it.
I mean, there used to be there's an adage they used to say then. It said the girl's education ends in the
kitchen.
Yeah, we would have thought that maybe with civilization, some of those things had ended. But if you pay attention, you would notice it's there subtly,
Yeah.
So everybody's thinking, so what are you going for masters for? What are you trying to master? When you should be, And so if
you
the girl
married
goes
with
past a
children.
certain age and is not yet married, there's still that subtle condemnation there. Like, what are you still doing? 32, 33, and everybody's like, what's going on? Maybe there's a problem, And so, girls are just having to get used to these things, Just mature in time. You are not allowed to be
Just
Be a
you.
child.
Yes, you're not.
You're not just allowed.
Embrace being a
Yes,
child.
you
Maybe
just-
unless you're a last born or
you're
something.
not allowed.
Sometimes we can be conformed to beauty standards. In a sense that as a girl, they expect you to mature fast so that you can start entering, start looking ready for marriage. I remember one woman telling a girl, this one, how old are you? You have not started developing breast. What happened? And that can cause low self-esteem because a child can go back and look at herself, look at her, peer groups and that's one of the things that even make girls grow fast because you start pressing it and say, please, you grow so that I can get my,
Should that even be a concern for
no,
a
seriously,
child?
it does, yes, because when people keep saying something, that child is having this mental feeling and when she gets that there's something wrong with them. It's just like when they're talking about menstruation, that you're supposed to see your menses at the age of, I think, from 10.
Yeah.
So imagine someone that is 13 and haven't seen her. So you'll be like, am I okay? Maybe there's something wrong with me. You keep thinking.
It's like, it's crazy. I had a similar experience in secondary school. I was a very, very late bloomer. In fact, I don't feel like I've even bloomed myself. But I was a very late bloomer in the sense that secondary school, see all my class girls, like they can wear bra. Like the thing can enter bra. And there's not me that's like, it's just
You're still struggling.
and like people would kind of mock me for it. It's like, oh, look at you, you're not. And I was also very like, I was behaving the way a 12-year-old should behave, like generally, like I was just a kid, as you would like. But that's the thing, compared to the other girls in my class, right? I was considered very immature. First, my body wasn't matching up. And like, I didn't even see my menstruation till I was like 14. So I was very, very late with everything. And I also didn't act like, I wasn't acting
You're still
like,
doing like a baby.
yes, I was still doing like a baby. So it's like, why is that even an expectation? It's like, sure, if a girl matures faster, that's fine. But there shouldn't be so much of that
Pressure on
for someone to
them.
like,
So
'cause-
necessary.
yeah, because when your time comes, it comes. Like,
Yeah.
when I got to the point of that maturity mentally and my body even developing, it's like it came and
Yes.
I did that change, and I feel like it was a very appropriate time for me.
Yeah.
It's not like a lot of people, and that maturity just even extends from the home. Also in like, let's say relationship wise, it's like if you're a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old and you're not in some kind of a relationship, I'm serious. It's maybe not your
When?
generation, but my own time. In my own time, like I think till I graduated, I never dated anybody. Meanwhile, everybody had their first boyfriend just 3, just 2. And I'm now there. I'm just
And it's as if you're abnormal.
yeah, normal one. Me, I don't know how to catch up with the times. Like, and it's very scary because it can have some very, very adverse effects.
Okay, let me ask this question. What are some common experiences that proves society sees girl child as little women instead of children?
Well, like I said, or like I was going to say, in the relationship sense, right? A lot of times you see a guy going for a girl that is really young, like 17, 16, and he's in his 30s, late 20s. There's no situation in which he should be with this girl, but she's his friend. They are in a relationship, but knowing fully well that they wouldn't want to be friends with an 18-year-old boy. And I feel like the structure of women are more mature gives them like an excuse. It's like, they'll use that as a backing. Society is backing them. There's no much of a problem. It's like there's no situation where a girl will say, "Oh, I think this guy took advantage of me." Very, very low chances that they'll take her seriously because you say,
Yeah.
"You're a big girl now. Like, you knew what you get." It's like there's no accountability for the predator that is. Because what happens is that when he gets tired of this 18-year-old, 17-year-old girl, guess
He will
what?
just-
He will replace her with another girl that age. It's like when
Maybe
they're
lower.
doing this, it's a pattern. It's not as if it's by chance. To be able to even be in a situation where you're talking to 18-year-old girls, you have to put yourself in their environment. It's like a very intentional thing. And, that's just my own perspective on real life experiences where it is.
Oh well, I think that one of the things that just shows that the society considers young female children as
little
moms instead of children should be, it's like their responsibilities given to them early, house chores. You hear things like, "Who's going to marry you if you don't learn how to?"
Yeah.
And this is just a child of maybe 7-year-old, and then you're already giving them that
expecting the
idea
child.
that, okay, you're going to have to learn all of these things. You're going to learn to cook. You're going to learn how to clean the house. Not just because it's a good thing to do, but because
Yeah, the
you're
where
a
you should
woman.
be.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I hate that narrative
You know,
so
And
much.
I use myself as an example because I imagine myself in between SS3 and SS1. I was selling water leaves, and they feel it's normal for me to do that because I'm a girl and I'm a future wife. You understand? So at least I should be able to know how to, help and assist the family, so that I could also know how to assist my husband in future.
so fun now.
Yeah.
I would have said there wasn't anything wrong with
it, yeah.
raising your girl child in that manner. But now that I think about it, because I mean, you raise women like that, they've learned. You look around, you see women have learned to just get used to whatever comes at them. So they grow that way. So it's largely almost impossible to see a woman who gets into any kind of condition, see her run away or see her break down.
It's like
they
you're
just,
taught to
they
endure.
just get used to certain situations, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's
Yeah,
bad.
in the bad aspect, they might feel they are deprived of their childhood enjoyment, you understand?
That
Because
freedom.
that period, that particular girl will see a child of her age enjoying, whereby she is here
Playing,
struggling. Okay,
just
yes,
playing in the
okay,
sand,
you
what
understand?
children
Because
do.
normally a child after school, she's expected to go back. Mom have prepared something,
Yeah.
and all she does is to go back and eat or assist with one or two. But if you are the one now doing what mom is supposed to do, because mom is not there yet, so how you are in school, you are now thinking, okay, I didn't cook when I left the house. Oh, my siblings will be very hungry now. So when I get back to the house, I need to first of all go to the market so that because dad might not have the money available now, I need to raise some money so that I can buy food stuff and come back to prepare food for my siblings. And my siblings are very funny. When they just see me coming from afar, they will run. Senior, we have not eaten since we came back. I said, people should just allow me. Let me drop my bag first. You understand? So that will just make you a kind of, you will have to sit down and feel kind of depressed. You understand? And you have that feeling that you're kind of deprived. So
Yeah.
I think that's but the good part of it is that you might be able to overcome some challenges with time because,
it's good in the sense that, yeah, it teaches you resilience. But the problem is not that. The problem is that it should go both ways. The same way you're raising your daughter to be a responsible adult, learn how to cook, learn how to clean. The son should also be taught to do like that. It's more of we don't want a situation where the guy grows up and feels like he can't really have these things without he forms some sort of dependency.
Yeah.
All their mind is like, when I have a wife, she will do these things
you
for
do
me.
everything.
They are not looking for a wife for companionship or a partner. They are just looking for the person who will best fill this
mommy's
role.
role, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I even think in that case, they'll even need to educate parents and caregivers. Because myself, when I function as a mother, my immediate younger brother, I gave responsibilities. I told him, yourself, you'll be the one, if I'm cooking soup, you cut periwinkle. Whether you like it or not, you cut it. And in the morning, make sure you sweep outside. You will need to do something so that I will just carry everybody along. But I think
So like she was saying, being forced into adulthood somehow affected self-esteem to an extent and mental health. This is something that most parents do not pay attention to. When this child is forced into adulthood, she doesn't really have a say of her own.
Yeah.
She's not given the power to say no. She can't make her own choices. So she's taught to take care of other people.
And that becomes home for her. That's where she feels safe, taking care of other people. And there's no other...
Yeah, she's unable to actually do anything for herself. Can't speak up about yourself. You cannot set boundaries, like very solid boundaries. So self-esteem, mental health, all of those things are
even depression is also there.
Can set in as well.
I remember once I felt bad because I wanted to go into boarding school, and the proprietor said he wants me to be a boarder and that he would take full responsibility for the payment. Then my parents said, no, she'll be the one to take care. She's the elder. She'll be the one to take care because the mom will not be around. And then you just imagine I go back home and I felt so bad. Like,
So
look
you
at me.
couldn't go to
I
boarding
couldn't. I had to sacrifice that, you understand, so that I'll have to care, of my siblings.
Such expectation from a young girl, at that age.
Is a lot. So anyways, moving on to the next question. Why do people assume girls must be strong emotionally and also be mature? But in a lot of situations, boys are excused for being immature. Like, boys will be boys, that type of a situation.
Well, I think cultural influence, because they feel the ladies should be groomed, like she said, into being future wives. You understand? So they think they're grooming the ladies into becoming future wives, whereas the guys will just be there. They are practicing this kind of patriarchal norms of a thing.
Yeah.
I remember my grandma, my late grandma, she so loved the male grandchildren that she would send her female grandchildren on errand. But when it's time for eating, she will call all of them into the room, lock the door, and they will eat to their satisfaction. So when they are done, it's now the remnant that she'll say, oh yeah, people can come and carry the girls. Understand? So she feels guys are supposed to be pampered. You understand? No, seriously. She feels boys are supposed to be pampered, whereas the girls, after all, you need to work hard so that you can take care of. Yes. So
it's an inherent female.
That's just the thing. Seriously. So it's a cultural influence. And perpetuating the circle. There are some people, they were brought up that way. So they feel it's normal.
That's the right way.
Yeah, so they also do same to their children. Yeah, so I think
that this thing of you feeling is not just because people have been doing things for years and years and years.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's right. Yes.
That a black man could be sold as a slave, and this was a normal thing that this is a black man, this is a slave. But was it right? No.
And that's where breaking free comes in.
That's literal simple logic. So you know, when someone brings up that argument of this is how we have been doing it for all these years, it's completely illogical and it makes no sense because people have been doing so many things for so many years. And it's like, do you know there was a time legal age for marriage is 9? And you're going to say it was right. I know there's some muggles that will say it's right.
Even up till now.
Even up till
now, it's still happening in some religions. You understand?
Some people will say yes, that's the symbols, you know. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay. So, why are young girls given household responsibilities and childcare while their brothers are not?
I think it still just boils down to the same.
What we just said.
You know, trying to just get the girl ready.
It's never just trying to
for
get
life.
the girl ready. It's just that, good. It's just that idea that, you know, a lot of people feel it's natural. And these subtle nurture things, like all these things we've mentioned now, they'll just say that they are training the child to do like that because it's already naturally in them. But true, if you raise a girl the way you raise a boy, she will not be the typical woman that you would expect her to be. So it's not natural. You have to realize that it's a very nature this thing. And that's the thing. Because they feel it's natural, that's why they now come and say, oh yeah, the boys should not be involved because this is a natural thing for girls. You know? And the problem with this idea is that it raises very incompetent men that don't know how to do basic things and feel that in order for those things to be done, they need a girlfriend or
to take care of that.
And that now becomes a determining factor in marriage. Like they're not looking for the person that they're most compatible with or they love. Maybe they'll keep that one that they love as a side chick and now marry.
Wife material.
Yes, that material comes in. Yes,
they'll now marry the one that serves them in those roles.
The material is bigger.
That those roles that they will never reach. Because and I see this thing every day. I used to have this one friend that her brothers did not do anything. Like she was waking up, she's sweeping, she's cleaning, she's bathing this boy of 9 years old. And when she was that age, she used to bath herself. This boy will pour something upstairs.
9-year-old.
Yes. This boy will pour something downstairs. The mother will call her from upstairs to come and clean what he poured.
So imagine that guy growing up now.
Imagine how he grows up.
Like this was happening in town. Like
very
village.
It's still happening.
Yeah.
Still happening nowadays.
And
definitely.
It's like the parents don't really know what they are doing. You know, the parents will not give the child, the daughter a choice. Say you're the firstborn, this is how you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's like if she now complains now, it's to look as if she's not being a good girl. She's not being a good woman. This is not what a woman is not supposed to complain. A woman is supposed to accept, like I said, suffering is an inherent female trait.
They expect the girl child to be more self-controlled than the boys.
Yeah.
You know, I came across a video where a boy was singing and expressing himself loudly, and then people were hailing in the comment section. They were hailing, "Wow, what a big boy! Cheers!" And then I also came across the video where a girl was shouting, and they say, "Ha, this one, hey." The mom did not train this one very well. They need to take care of this one very well because this one will fight with her husband in future. You see, I saw a whole lot of negative comments, and I was like, but a boy just did something like this, and he's being hailed. And this is a girl of about 2 or 3 years.
Like a societal
big issue. You know, and like I said before, it raises very incompetent people. Even I think there's one shop I know like that. I will go. When I go, I see this woman has a daughter and a son. Her son, he didn't start coming to the shop until he was like SS3, SS2 to stay. The daughter is like JS2, JS3. She has started staying in that shop. And sometimes she'll stay with the son. But you see the daughter, move here, do here. She's doing everything. She knows the price of everything. The son is just there. Do you get? It's like these small things. And nobody's really like saying, oh, you, this boy, do like this. It's like if they are going to correct anybody or show them how to do something, maybe they'll probably do it to him too, but the expectation is more on her. To actually naturally be better at doing it. But it's very much on how like they're raised, you know, to be able to fall into these roles. And like I said, they grow up to expect these things to be done for them instead of by them.
Yes.
I think it's just something that's gone on for quite a while. And it's almost impossible. You know, it's almost impossible to, I don't know how
really break it.
Yeah, to break free from that thing because
I mean, if you want to break free from it, it's us. How are we going to raise our own kids?
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes,
all.
yes. Because
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like the people that are aware when you have kids, do what is
What to
right.
do differently.
Do it differently. Don't mind those people that still want to do something of their forefathers. Focus on raising your own children in the right way that they raise their own. Before you know it, generations ahead, a lot of these things will be like history.
yeah, I think also enlightenment, trying to enlighten them. Because, most people who do this, maybe I think some of them might not be in school. Because when my mom was not in school yet, the way she was acting was different from when she graduated. So like there are some certain things she came to learn in school. So I think parents and caregivers, they need to be enlightened on how to equalize everything, especially when it comes
I
to do
think
with
we
their
need to start
children.
challenging this old gender roles.
Yes, because we can
The
change
idea
it.
that it's a woman's place to always wash plates, for
Yeah.
instance, the boys can also wash.
Yes, sure.
Boys can also cook.
And
So why not let's share this
Everything.
chores
So that if
equally,
they
yeah?
grow up, when they are used to it being a little child, when they grow up, they will still continue doing that same thing.
And another thing, like I said, this leads to a very serious dependency issue. Like if you're teaching a girl that like this thing ends in the kitchen, and you're not really teaching her to fight for her own independence and make her own money, her main skills should be all these cleaning up stuff, and you're teaching a man that his main skills should be making money. What happens is that you grow a generation of adults that depend on each other.
Yes.
A man that
You're
doesn't
right.
that can
That's
not speak
true.
for
You are
himself,
very correct.
and it now leads to this dating
And a
issue.
woman who doesn't know how to stand
to
up
yes, to
for
earn her.
So it's like,
Yes,
in
she has to
life,
depend
this is
on
how
the
it
man.
should be when it comes to this relationship stuff. A man should know how to cook and clean for himself, and he knows that he doesn't need a woman to do this
To do
things for
that.
him.
And
So
a
when he's looking
woman-
for a
Finally,
partner,
yes.
when he's looking for a
Like,
partner, he's looking for somebody that is just going to will add to him. Like he actually is in love with this person and wants to spend the rest of their life with them, not a slave.
Yes.
And so that a
Yeah.
woman also makes her own money, can cook, can clean, can do everything for herself. And when she's looking for a husband, she's not looking for a wallet.
She's looking
She's
just
looking
for
for
her
a
husband.
partner.
Yes.
She's not looking for ATM. She's looking for a partner. And I feel like the moment we start to realize that a lot of these gender roles that we are feeling is the way it should be, is one of the big causes of a lot of problems we are facing in the
currently.
dating society. Like so many issues.
Even in the abuse.
Yeah, even in this abuse situation.
Yes.
The moment we realize that a lot of these cake gender roles that need to be abolished are the cause of the problems, the moment we can really start to move forward as a society and see some sort of growth and some sort of change. So
Yes, that's true. Because when a man learns a woman is just depending on him for money, everything, honey, I want to buy slippers, honey, I want to buy comb. And he will get tired of it. And the man too
course,
will have to
that's
sit
why
down,
he
wash my socks, wash my this. You have to brush my shoe. Everything is human. The both of them might even get tired in the relationship. Because this one is exhausted, this one is exhausted. Everything. Seriously, you can't. You just have to wait till he comes. You don't know, even the television. You have to hold on till he comes.
The ball went up and
and you'll be so pissed off. Like you cannot on this. Oh my goodness. I don't want to deal with this.
I found out that even there's this in the rural communities, for instance, you find out that most of these women give birth and then their girls are seeing like some sort of economic empowerment for the parents, because if they are not sending them out as mates, they are waiting for who is going to marry them so that they can use them to offset bills in the house, So I feel like education will really have a large part to play in this matter, because these people need to be enlightened.
Yes.
You need to prioritize the woman's education.
And I think they should also limit the number of children. Because when there are plenty, you might have difficulty. I know. Seriously, seriously, no. I know a woman that has 10 children in my village. 10. Like they are not well to do, but like 10. They're sending a single.
So
No, seriously, they are in a single room. They can do family planning. They're in a single room. The husband repairs bicycle and the wife just then 10 good children.
And then
And you
now
should
create
imagine.
a situation where the girls are not
Yeah, they are the ones selling. I have to send out before you know.
It's
Maybe
not
the
just
eldest
that.
now might be 15, and before you know, a tutor comes in and you say, "Please go," so that it will be 9 left. And soon they'll say,
get that money.
and use it to feed
one of your brothers.
You know, that's just They should limit it. Family planning is dead. At least
Just
3 or
family
4.
planning. In my personal opinion, it should be illegal for poor people to have children. Illegal for poor,
Jesus.
uneducated people to have children. True. Like, cause what happens?
It's illegal, babe.
No.
Absolutely. So, because like think about it. Like these situations now, they will now it's poor people that have the most children. They have so many kids. And then what happens is that because they are poor, they are all hustling. Do you get? And then by the time the girl is like 12, 13, she's taking care of her mother's children. Like, it's a cycle of I don't even know.
It's not just them not having. They can just have it limited. Maybe 3, too much 4. You know, but when it increases to 5, 6, 7, then wahala day. And you don't have money. That's why they say wahala day. So
I think like we said, we should just the old boys will be boys stuff. We should just end it.
We should just end it
because
once and for all.
Boys need to come into the kitchen.
The boys need to mature
learn out.
too.
Yes, they need to grow up as well. They
Because
need to be taught.
if you do that thing where you don't see, the truth is a lot of adults are just grown children. They're grown babies. Like when you don't make that room for them to mature with the girls now, they will be big babies that run on ego. That's just it. Like maybe what they'll have in their age is experience, but that inner maturity is not.
And they'll feel it's normal.
And they'll feel it's normal.
Yeah.
And they'll now also feel like they are mature. Meanwhile, they are lacking a whole lot of core principles and it's a whole.
And I also feel they should allow ladies to also do what they feel. Like I heard a lady say she wanted to study in engineering, and the dad said no way, that she is a woman. Yes, that is a very related course. So she is a woman. She should go for something like education so that she can teach and have time for the family. So I feel they should also give ladies the room to do what they feel is okay for them.
Breaking out of
Yeah. But although we still have people in those tight corners, we do. Even last year, I saw a man who said none of his female children will be going to school. And none of them.
I remember something like that in my secondary school. There's this one girl. She wanted to be a science. I think she wanted to be an art student or something or whatever. But the father was not allowing them because like they are girls, and now push them into nursing or something like that.
So this one, the father said no going to school at all. The teacher herself, they had to plead. He said that's his word and it's fine now. That only it's boys that are allowed. I mean, last year, only it's boys that are allowed. So people are still there in the tight corners being affected. So I think everything should just be neutral. And
I think it should also keep girls from this early marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, discover yourself. Know who you are.
Let them take your time. Discover yourself. Take that first degree, take the second one. If you don't like it, take another one. Go for masters, travel around the world if you can afford to. Just take your time and discover yourself. The old, you are a woman, you can't be seen doing this at 31, you cannot be seen doing this at 32. That thing should stop.
And also the whole age something that if you pass this age, no man wants to marry. A man that doesn't want to marry.
Or if you have a car, no man wants to marry.
If you have too much money.
A man that doesn't want to marry you after you pass a certain age is not a good man, in my opinion.
Seriously.
It's obvious that he's looking for someone young and impressionable, and it's like there's no moral reason. Maybe aesthetics. They want someone that looks young or something like that.
I don't know.
Even if is not.
I don't know if you've seen that video where they asked a man, would you want your wife to earn more than you? He said, no, my lord. No, never.
I wouldn't want more than
and you're like, so I think, and those kind of people, and those kind of people, if they have female children, they wouldn't want that child to do what the boys are doing because they feel
I've actually
it's
seen
not
a man
normal.
who doesn't, in real life, who doesn't support the wife's ambition. And I think, and at the back of that lack of support is the fact that he doesn't want the wife to earn more than him. So I think it's just
People
it's
should
just
just
maybe the way they were raised, you know. So it
yes.
feels like if the woman has more money, it may upset the family scale.
So are we final question then? What steps can we take to ensure that future generations of girls are allowed to experience childhood?
Well,
So
I think to educate boys and girls alike, just equalize everything. They should know that this one can do whatever this one is doing, and the boys can do what the girls are doing. They just equalize everything. You don't need to make anyone feel special, neither the boy nor the girl, but everybody, you are equal. You can just, okay, the boys can do this, the girls can do this. The boys can earn, the girls can earn. The boys can actually do domestic chores, and the girls can as well. So everything should just be equalized. You need to educate them that you're equal, no one is greater, so that we can have better tomorrow. We can raise better people and to reduce the conflict
Take advantage
that's
of
happening.
the media as well.
Yes.
actually,
Let's
because-
have movies that encourage
yes,
I mean, we already have that, you know, a lot of the things I would say I learned or I know is very influenced by media. I think the media and the internet is already doing a really good job at spreading the word and spreading that information. So, yeah, in conclusion, I really do feel that what we need to do, like she said, is treat everybody and raise them equally and teach everybody to learn those responsibilities equally. If you're saying as a girl you need to know how to sweep, as a boy you should know how to sweep. This is a basic life skill.
Yes,
It's not like it's anything, it's just a skill. Because you're going to live alone one day and you're going to actually need to cook, because it's not every time you have to go out and buy something. It's like you will be single, even if you want to see my wife in the future. There will be a point where you need all these skills.
That's why I feel that they should also enlighten parents and caregivers who are still rigid. That is just supposed to be the historical context how it was. I think they should enlighten them. They should sit them down and make them understand that the world is evolving and there's meant to be changes, and they shouldn't be left behind. So I think that's.
So I guess we've come to the end of this legendary episode.
Yeah.
Miss you guys. We're gonna see you again next week, Sunday. Tune in. Bye.
Bye.
Don't
Love
forget
you.
to subscribe, to like, to share, and then of course drop your comments. We'd like to hear your opinions. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.